have to manipulate, pressure any man into being with you, you're going to always have to do that if you happen to get married.
You're my girl. You're the type of woman to make a man get right.
Hey guys, we are here now with our last question in our first question and answer series. After this, we'll be taking a break, so there'll be no new episode next week. But thank you everybody for sending in these questions. We had a lot of fun.
And you still can send questions in.
We'll be doing this again.
We'll be doing it again. And it really is helpful when you all send questions because it gives us material to talk about.
So send us a question, comment it below. Want to be anonymous, DM us on Instagram
and
at
let
Jalen
us know
and Cacie.
if you want to be anonymous.
Or email us at jalenandcacie@gmail.com. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let's get right into it. This is my favorite question. I've been waiting to get to this the entire time. We say the best for last. So multiple people asked this question, okay? And I'm actually not going to go through and try to say all your guys' usernames, but they'll just be on the screen. But multiple people asked the same version of this question. So we're going to answer kind of like a two-parter in a way. Here are the variations of the question. How to know if a godly man is actually interested in you romantically or is just being nice, being a nice brother in Christ. Another version of that same question was, how do you know someone wants to marry you? And then there was someone else who just said, I want to know the answer to that one too. I'm really excited about this one because a lot of people want to know that. And I've seen this a lot from single women on Instagram, and I'm just excited to get into it. Do you want to say anything before I get going?
Again, here comes Cacie. Here's your big sister. Okay, if this was my sister coming to me and telling me or asking me this question, I will look at them in their eyes and be like, look, if a guy is interested in you, you would know it. And I guess the question is, why do women, this is my question, why do women feel the need to know if it's interested in you? Like, to that degree. Like, why can't we wait for this man to make the first move? Why can't we wait for him to show a grand gesture of saying, I want to be with you?
Okay, you want to lose him?
Okay,
you want to get scooped up by somebody else? Because there's more forward women, more boisterous women who could come by and catch his eye. You're afraid of that happening, so you want to make sure you don't miss out. Here's the thing. How you know if a man wants to marry you? When a husband wants to marry you, he will come ask you.
He will.
That is it.
Simple.
That is the question. We also have to talk about the thing about letting the man pursue a woman. Because here's what we're talking about. Now, okay. And I'm getting away from the questions now. We pretty much more or less answer the questions. But now let's get to the nuance, because a lot of you who are watching are people who are actually looking for marriage, right? Not looking to just play around and have a boyfriend and girlfriend. We never give advice on basically how to be boyfriend and girlfriend. We give advice on how to be married, get married, all of that. So a lot of you listening, you're really looking for marriage. You know, that's what you're aiming for. So let me give you some advice on that. What I said before about if a man wants to marry you, he'll let you know. See, there's a difference between, there was a point in my life where I was interested in Cacie, and we talked about this in a previous video, but I wasn't ready to ask her to marry me. I wasn't brave enough to do that yet because I had to go to my pastor, who was her dad, to do that, and that kind of terrified me a little bit, and I was back and forth, and I was unsure. See, she might have been wondering if I was interested in her in that time, but I was not ready to marry her. And it would not have been a good idea for her to come and ask me because she was afraid that somebody else was going to scoop me up, or maybe I would change my mind. If you're wondering if the guy's in a place of changing his mind, you're about to dodge a bullet. Let him. If he's wishy-washy, let him just go on another way and figure it out, because you got your mind made up that what you're ready to do. So let the man come to the conclusion. Don't try to convince him. Don't try to convince him to marry you. Don't try to convince him to like you, to want you, or anything like that. Don't ever put yourself in that position. Now, look, here's the nuance here. I understand that sometimes when men and women start interacting, y'all friends, maybe I go to the same church. When y'all begin to let on that y'all got feelings, who knows who mentioned it first? It may have been the girl who did it first, may have been the guy who did it first. I'm not saying that there's like a spiritually right or wrong way, like, oh, girl, you should not have said anything about how you feel. That happens, you know, y'all be in each other's DMs, y'all be talking, and then something comes out, and it's like, well, I got feelings for you, whatever. But when we're talking about actually getting married, you don't have to convince him. You don't have to pressure him or anything like that. When he's ready to marry you, he will come to you and say so. he will do that because a husband finds a wife.
Because if you have to manipulate, pressure any man into being with you, you're gonna always have to do that if you happen to get married.
Oh yeah, because
manipulate, pressure, and that's not gonna be something you want to
do.
do.
And this is the reason why the scripture says that the husband leaves his father and mother and cleaves into his wife, and that he finds a wife, finding a good thing, and that a wife finding a husband. It has nothing to do with gender dynamics or power or anything like that. I'm gonna explain to you why the man needs to do it. Because if you have to convince him, if you have to ask him to marry you, if he's on the fence and then you're like, you somehow push him into it and convince him to do it, once y'all are married and you start hitting rough patches, it's either going to come out of his mouth or in his actions. Or he's going to be thinking it, well, I really didn't want to get married anyway. I only did it because you were pushing me. You don't want that to happen. If he's not sure, let him not be sure with somebody else. He ain't got to be with you because you're already sure. So let him just not be sure, you know? Now, being with a woman or the idea of not missing out will sometimes help a man make his mind up. You know, that's kind of happened to me. You know, we were still friends and everything. And one day just hit me. I really wanted her. I was like, you know what? I'm not willing to miss out. So I'm going to man up and I'm going to go ahead and do what it takes. I'm going to go to her father. And it didn't help make up my mind because of how great that she was. So that can happen. Sometimes you have a guy who's on that edge of ready to be a husband, but he's got some insecurities. Because look, we got insecurities, we got issues, we got problems, we got doubts. We'll still learn to hear from God. A lot of times we're young and we're still maturing. We don't got it all on the ball for sure. We don't. So we're learning things. So sometimes we'll have a moment that'll be like, okay, it makes up my mind. But you shouldn't have to pressure him. You shouldn't have to manipulate him. You shouldn't have to convince him. You shouldn't be dating him years and years. You be like, you gonna marry me yet? You gonna marry me yet? No. Best thing to do is anytime a man wants to get in a relationship with you, is say, this is my standard. I'm only dating to marry is a term that we like to use. That's it. And if you're not down for that, we don't need to be in a relationship.
That's right. Because
otherwise you risk getting with a scrub. A scrub is like the male version of a heifer. But there's a difference. Heifers try to take your man and make him her man. So she'll try to steal a man. A scrub doesn't do that. A scrub is a man who tries to circumvent all the boundaries and all the commitment to just get a piece of meat.
I think
because he's not looking for commitment.
We should come out with a marriage dictionary.
Oh yeah, marriage dictionary. But that's what a scrub is. And you want to watch out for scrubs. And some of you have interacted with scrubs before. They'll talk to you, but as soon as you start requiring commitment of them to interact with you, then they'll either back off because they're not ready for that commitment, or they'll try to wear you down and get you to lower your standards.
Yeah.
Don't do that. That's not a man. That is trouble with that. That's a scrub, and he's trying to break down your standards to get with you because really he just wants to sleep with you. And you're one of many women that he's talking to right now. And if you put up too much resistance, eventually he'll leave you alone and go talk to another woman. So put up the resistance and let him reveal himself. But if you put up your standards and say, this is the only way to interact with me, if he truly wants you, he'll be like, you know what? That works for me. And he'll come and apply, put in his resume based on your standards and apply and say, okay, we're going to date to marry. Or he'll back off and you'll have your answer. So how do you know? He'll let you know. He'll come to you. He'll let you know. The nuances of interaction, how you get started talking and things like that, everybody's story is going to be a little bit different. Everything's going to vary. So people start off as friends. People meet each other and get married the next week. But one thing is always the same. When a husband finds a wife, he finds a good thing. God highlights that woman to him, and he will go to her and say, I want to marry you. He'll get down on one knee. He'll approach her for a relationship and all that stuff. However y'all guys started talking is one thing, but that thing remains the same. And you never want to violate that order. God put that order in not because of some gender power dynamics. He put that order in because it's to preserve you and to reveal his heart. Men are built with pursuit inside of them. It is that God created Adam and gave him something to take care of, a garden. That was his job. He gave him something to do, to pursue. And that's how men tick and are wired. And if you are a man, that's just the way that you are. You can't change that. So if he's not willing to do that for you, if he's not willing to go that extra mile, if he's not willing to, sorry to use the term, man up and make it clear and be sure and have intention when it comes to you, then he's not a husband. He may be a good guy. He may be a Christian guy. He may be a good Christian man. That does not mean he's a husband. That's an entirely different thing. A husband, the full word is husbandman, and a husbandman takes care of the garden, and he prunes and takes care of it and washes and tends to it and blocks out from intruders. There's a lot more. That's a lot more than just being a good man. That's being a caretaker, and that kind of man will come to you and say, I want to marry you.
That's right.
So if you're wondering, I don't know. If you're thinking about having a husband, he'll come and let you know. If you just wonder if he's interested in you, who knows? Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. We do a lot of insecurities. You might want to find out. But if you're trying to do this the right way and you're looking for marriage, just be very cautious. However you enter into interaction with this guy, that you don't violate that order and you don't start trying to put on all this pressure, because you shouldn't have to pressure him. You shouldn't have to.
No, you should not.
Shouldn't have to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hopefully they answered your question. If it did, let us know. Okay, because we love marriage and we want everybody to be married. That's our desire, at least mine in a way.
Yeah.
I think marriage is cool. I know marriage isn't, maybe everybody doesn't want to be married, and that's cool too.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, so whenever you guys ask us questions about relationship, it's always going to lead to marriage for us. Because again, we're not teaching people how to date, how to be in long-term dating relationships. And
we're not those people. I've realized this. I've seen a lot of this on YouTube. I didn't know this was a thing until we started doing this, but there's people who be trying to teach you how to make someone feel things for you.
Yeah.
Or it's these videos like 5 ways to know that a guy is into you, 5 ways to know a girl's into you. We're not into all that. It's overcomplicating and you end up being confused. For all that, like you said, just go ask somebody.
Exactly.
Are you interested? No? Okay, I was just wondering. I wasn't sure. Like, it's a lot easier to do that than to try to catch all these signals and play this stupid little game. Life is, I guess, too short, too valuable to
It's
play
too valuable.
Like that. Yeah.
It's too valuable. And again, when you're dealing with a real husband, man, you don't have to ever question their intentions. When you're dealing with a real wife, you never have to question their intentions. There's very distinct qualities from a wife and a husband versus a scrub and a heifer, or somebody who just want to quote unquote have fun and play games and date. It's totally different character. They don't even look nothing alike. So if you want a husband, man, he'll come and he will make intentions known to you, and you won't even have to question what that is. No matter how, like we said before, no matter how maybe you got into the relationship as far as
just interaction, like a friendship,
how your conversation started. Everybody's conversation starts different.
Yeah.
Like ours started different, and your brother and his wife conversation started different. My brother and his wife started different. Everybody we know started different. But I can say, you're a husband, my brother-in-law's a husband, my brother's a husband, and they all made their intentions known, and they're living it out, and they're proving and walking it out.
They all got down on one knee.
Exactly. All got on one knee, and the wives are happy. Yep.
That's the way it works. Sorry, that's what a husband is.
That's the way it works.
Sorry. All right, so thank you guys. It's been a fun time doing this series of question and answer. We're taking a week off, but it's great to submit more questions, things like that, so that we can answer more questions coming up here soon in the future. How do you ask a question? Leave a comment below. DM us on Instagram or email us at jalencacie@gmail.com. Let us know if you want to be anonymous. It will be sure to keep you anonymous, but otherwise subscribe to the notification bell. Thank you so much for being a part of the family friends. We love you guys. Need prayer? Text prayer to 797979 or email us at jalencacie@g. No, I'm sorry.
No.
Text prayer to 7779 or go to raptureministries.org/prayer. Sorry.
Just follow the prompts on the screen.
Yeah, it's on the screen. But anyway, thank you guys. We love you so much. I'm Jalen.
And I'm Cacie.
And we're saving marriages.
One story at a time.
You're my girl. You're the type of woman to make a man get right. You're my world. You keep my mind spinning all through the night.